afternoon, everyone. What is that last topic? Keyboard actions. Okay. Online students, is that the screen is visible? Online students can respond in the chat window. All the online students can respond in the chat window. Okay, right. So let's complete on that, which we have been taking care about in working with keyboard actions. I mean, in case of Selenium is not able to handle any of the functionality, the same thing how we can get handled with the help of keyboard actions. So that we need to be get understand. So as simple as we need to be get taking care about in working with the functionality of keyboard. If you want to be get perform any kind of activities with the help of the keyboard, how exactly we can perform that particular respective activities, we need to be get understand. Let's see that. Further, the one we got mentioning about taking with the help of robot class. What is the functionality of robot class? Functionality of robot class to perform keyboard actions. The functionality of robot class, we need to be get mentioning that to perform keyboard actions here. If you want to be get perform any keyboard actions, we need to be get take with the help of robot class. The advantage of robot class. What is advantage of robot class? It will support for web-based applications and Windows-based applications. Particularly if you are working with the Selenium, it has been taking care about in working with only web-based applications. But considering with this robot class, it can perform the keyboard actions on web-based applications and Windows-based applications here. Okay, let's see that further we are taking with the help of the respective test case step. According to that particular test, we need to be get open application, type username, and we need to be get password here. Once we are typing with the from the keyboard, what we have to press? Tab. From the keyboard, we need to be get press with the, and then from the keyboard, what need to be done? Enter. So from the keyboard, we need to be get perform the tab activity and then taking with enter. So as simple as we have been taking care about in understanding that how exactly we can perform that particular respective keyboard actions here. Let's see that. So let's understand how we can write that particular code. Further, as usual, working with the Selenium. If you want to begin work with Selenium, what we require? To work with Selenium, what we require? Jar files has been required. Based on jar files, what we can access? Packages. Based on the packages, class. Based on the class, method. What is the use of the method? To perform an action. Followed with the same concept here. The whole programming followed with the same concept. We need to begin creating that particular respective class. We need to begin create that particular respective class here. So creating that particular respective class will be the common activity which we got created with the package. For this, we need to begin taking care about in creating with class. We can provide any class name we can provide any class name considering the keyboard actions. That particular keyboard actions we are doing with the help of robot class. That particular keyboard actions we are doing with the help of robot class here. So this is what we have been taking care about and working with, doing with the programming. All that particular programming concept will be the same. There is no difference in that. Just according to the requirement, we need to be get understand that what are all the respective activities need to be done. Just to automate each and every particular functionality. To automate each and every particular functionality, what exactly the syntax need to be followed, that is what you need to be get look into that. Considering that creating with class, once we got created with the class, we need to be get taking care about writing with the common method. What is that method need to be done? Taking with main method. What is the use of the main method? What is the use of the main method? To start program execution. And as simple as you need to be get performed with test steps here. In that particular test step, we need to be get open with application. To get open with application, we need to be get launching with the browser. For that, we need to be write with the statement. So what is the statement we are writing? System dot set property. We need to be get right with the statement that will be mentioning about system dot set property, that you are writing it mentioning about WebDriver dot gecko dot driver. After that, what we have to provide? What we need to be provide? Path of driver dot exe file. We need to be get provide. We need to be get provide path of driver dot exe file. So where exactly that particular driver is available, we need to be get provide path of that particular driver dot exe file. That particular one including with the file name and extension. Including with the file name and extension, we need to be get provided. Considering that mentioning about gecko driver dot exe. Considering that gecko driver dot exe. Okay. After that, we need to be get right. After that, we need to be get right our regular statement. What we will write? WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver. Okay. Now it is giving an error. Why it is giving an error? Why it is giving an error? We need to be get import packages. We need to be get import. We need to be get import all the required packages. We need to be get import all the required packages. The one you can type it manual. All the required packages. What are all the packages has been required? You can type it manual. Otherwise, the one we got in a shortcut. What is the shortcut? So just if we keep the cursor also, it will be giving with the package name. Just you can get import that particular package. But when you guys are practicing with the program, never go with these kind of shortcuts here. What you have to do? Manually have to type it. So don't go with that kind of shortcut. I know that you are already practicing the shortcut, but don't go with the shortcut here. So while working with our Selenium, don't go with that particular shortcut. Just manually type it what exactly the required packages has been done. So you need to be get import you need to be get import all that particular required packages. You need to be get import all that particular required packages. Along with these two, we required one more package. What is it? org.openqa.selenium. It will be taking with by. So org.openqa.selenium.by. So whenever you are working with any Selenium program, you need to be get import all the required packages here. So the one you got imported required packages, we got providing path of exe file, launching with the browser, and then need to be get enter URL. To enter URL, considering dot driver dot, what is that method name? Navigate dot to. You need to be get provide that particular application URL. So what exactly the application URL is there? What exactly the application URL is there? You need to be get provide. You need to be get provide that particular application URL. You need to be get provide that particular application URL. Okay. Now you can see that once we got enter the URL, we need to be get enter username. Once we got enter with the URL, we need to be get enter username. To enter username, what is the statement we have to write? Driver dot considering that find element. After that, by dot taking with name. What is the name of that? What is the name of that? TXT username. So need to be get provide with the name TXT username. Dot. What is that method name? What is the method name? Considering that send keys. Send keys of need to be get provide that particular respective username. So we need to be get provide username, and then need to be get provide password that will be taking with find element by dot taking with name, need to be get provide txt password, and then taking with dot. After that, using the method name. What is the method name? Send keys here. So send keys of need to be get mentioning about providing that password. We got typing with the username and then typing with password. What is the next step need to be done? You need to be get perform the click activity. But this click activity you are performing using keyboard. This click activity you are using with the help of the keyboard. In that, the one you will be taking with add and which you will be taking with tab. After that, you will be taking with enter. So from the keyboard, you need to be get perform the tab activity and then taking with enter. Now let's see that how exactly we can do it. For that, we are using predefined class name. What is that class name? What is a predefined class name? Which we will be taking with robot. So robot is the one predefined class name. Creating the object, taking with class name, object name equal to new class name here. Taking with class name, object name equal to new class name here. Now we are using method name. What is the method name? Which we will be taking with key press. We are using with the method name that we will be taking with key press. Which key you want to be pressed? Which key you want to be pressed, you need to be provide. Considering that key event dot vk underscore. Once you mention vk, it will give the list of all the keyboard options here. From the keyboard, what are all the activities you want to be performed? It will provide all that keyboard actions here. For now, what is our requirement? What is the requirement? Taking with tab. So which it will be done? Mentioning about taking with key press of tab. Once you done with the key press, what is the next step need to be done? After key press, what need to be done? Key release. You are pressing on the button. Once you press on button, you need to be taking care about doing with key release. That particular key release, you will be taking with key event dot vk underscore, which you will be taking with tab here. So one, you are considering the key press and then taking with key release. For the confirmation, taking with the tab, and then to see that whether it has been done or not, providing with wait statement, providing that particular respective wait statement here. This is how we got a possibility. This is how we got a possibility in taking care about working with keyboard actions and taking care about in working with this particular respective keyboard actions. Why it is giving error? Okay. So which we got, import that particular required packages considering that robot and then taking with key event. Okay. So this is what you have been taking care about in performing with keyboard actions. Okay. Now, so here we are performing only tab according to our requirement. According to our requirement. After tab, what is the next step we have to do? After tab, what is the next step we have to do? Taking with enter. As an example, we are taking with tab and enter. According to the program requirement, you can perform any kind of that keyboard activity. Okay, right. So now you can see that we need to be mentioning about taking with that particular keyboard action that we will be considering that in a place of tab, you can see here mentioning about vk underscore taking with enter. So after that, we need to be done taking care about mentioning about vk underscore enter here. Right. So which need to be mentioning about taking with enter. This will be considering that mentioning about enter. So we are performing the tab activity, and then taking with enter. So by that, it will be completing with login. Then we are taking with statement. The one you are printing that login completed. Okay. After that, need to take logout. For taking the logout, what is the statement? Driver dot find element by dot taking with link text here. link text of which you will be taking with logout. So which you will be mentioning about taking with logout dot. What is the method you will be using? What is the method you will use? Taking with click only. You need to be get taking with the method that you will be taking with click. And last, we need to be get considering the driver dot close. So what is the method you will be using? Which you will be taking with close. So this is what we got in a possibility. This is what we got in a possibility in performing that particular respective keyboard actions. Okay. Now we can see here. If I run this particular program, we need to be get able. If I run this particular program, we need to be able to perform these particular activity. Now you can see here, which it will be taking with run as. What is option? What is option? Java application. Okay. Now we can see that you need to be get perform that keyboard actions here. Now it's need to be get username password. Username we given wrong. Okay. That should be capital. Okay. Now let's see that how it is working. Done. Tab has been done. Enter has been done. Taking with login and then log out. If you want to be get run, let me run once again. I'm just adding the wait statement. So need to be get enter with the URL, username entered, password entered. Tab has been done. Okay, then it will take enter. Enter has been done. Okay. So as simple as previously WebDriver has been done with click activity. So now this keyboard actions has been done with click activity. Nothing but robot class has been done with click activity. But here always we mention VK underscore, VK underscore, VK underscore. What is the meaning of that VK? Meaning of that VK? Virtual keyboard. The meaning of VK, which need to be get considering that virtual keyboard. When these programs has been executing, don't look into your keyboard whether your keyboard button pressing or not. So if you look into your keyboard also, your button will not press it. Because of that, it is clearly mentioned that VK, meaning of VK, virtual keyboard. So virtually it will be performing, that particular respective activity here. So this is what we got in a possibility. This is what we got in a possibility in taking care about implementing all the required options here. Now you can see that we need to be get provide that particular option, which you will be considering the keyboard and then taking with robot class here. Okay. Right. This is question. Then. This is related to keyboard considering that robot class. Okay. Right. So now you can see here, we got an understanding of, in taking with, we need to be get mentioning about considering the keyboard actions here. Now see the requirement, requirement is we need to be get perform, keyboard actions here. Okay. So we need to be get perform this keyboard action. This keyboard action you can implement in two ways. The keyboard action you can get implemented in two ways. The one you can consider that. Taking with. Okay. So the one you can consider in that taking with Java. Another one you will be considering that taking with WebDriver. So the one you will be taking with the Java and the one you will be taking with WebDriver. Java, you guys are very clear about on it. So what is the statement we are using in Java? What is the statement in Java? Robot. So robot is related to Java. So considering that this particular robot, this robot is related to Java. In a similar way, we got WebDriver. In WebDriver, we are using that we will be taking with predefined class name. What is the predefined class name? Case. In case of Java, what is the predefined class name? Robot. In case of WebDriver, what is the predefined class name? Keys. So now we got both the options here. Right. See that. So to perform this keyboard actions, what are the options we got? One is robot class. Another one is case class. Both the things has been used to perform keyboard actions. Then what make the difference here? Both are keyboard actions. What make the difference? This robot will support for web-based applications and Windows-based applications. Considering that this particular keys, it will be supporting with only web. It will not be supporting with Windows here. So which it will be supporting for only web. It will not be supporting for Windows here. So this is what you will be making the difference. So based on that program requirement, we need to be get understand. Based on program requirement, we need to be get understood, taking care about having with these particular class here. Okay. Previously, we are already got the syntax of robot class. Now let's understand what is the syntax need to be followed related to class. Related to keys here. Let's see that. To get work with, the one you are taking with Java and the one you will be taking with WebDriver. So Java we are using with robot class, WebDriver we are using with keys class here. Okay. Now let's see here how exactly we can write that. Further, we need to be get taking care about having with this Google page here. Considering with the Google page, considering this Google page, is it related to web-based or window-based? Google page is web or Windows? Web or Windows? Web. So now here I'm just taking with the Google page. Once I got open the Google page, I need to be get type in a text. We need to be get type in a text that you will be taking with Selenium. So that you will be taking with from the keyboard. From the keyboard, you will be taking with first down arrow. And from the keyboard, taking with second down arrow. And from the keyboard, clicking on enter. So from the keyboard, we are taking with down arrow and then need to be get click on enter. Just an example, we are taking with the down arrow and enter. According to the requirement, need to be get understand that what are all that particular respective steps need to be done. Let's see here. So how exactly we can perform these particular steps here? Further, as usual, we need to be get write in a program. We need to be get write in a program that we will be taking with class. We need to be get provide that particular respective class name. Considering that mentioning about keyboard actions. Keyboard by using WebDriver. By using WebDriver. Now you need to be get write that program. Writing the program is the common activity. Followed with the same steps here. Followed with the same steps which you will be taking with main method, considering that string and then taking with args. That you will be taking with main method. This particular one we need to be get mentioning about taking with test step. We need to be get mentioning about taking with test steps here. This particular test step we need to be get launching with the browser. This particular test step we need to be get launching with the browser. So to get launched with the browser, what is our regular code? System.setProperty. We need to be get consider system.setProperty mentioning that WebDriver.gecko.driver. WebDriver.gecko.driver. Then you need to be get provide path of driver.exe. We need to be get provide path of driver.exe, and that you need to be get providing including with the file name gecko.driver.exe. gecko.driver.exe. After that, what you will write? WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver. We need to be giving error. So why it is giving an error? We need to import the required packages. All that particular steps will be the common. We need to be get import that particular respective packages. After that, need to be get enter URL. To enter URL, what is the method name? What is the method name? Driver.navigate.to. After that, you need to be get provide the same URL. So you need to be get provide the same URL. So let's see that we need to be get provide that URL taking with the Google page. We need to be get taking with considering that which you will be taking with this particular Google page. After that, once we got to open the Google page, we need to be get enter with the data. To enter the data in text box, what is the syntax need to be followed? Driver dot find element by dot. We'll see that any name available. Taking that name and then mentioning about dot, which you will be taking with send keys. Send keys of what need to be provided? Okay, just will type as Selenium. You can provide anything, just you can type as Selenium. Once it got type as a Selenium, you will be getting the list from there. You need to be get perform down arrow for 2 times here and then need to be get click on enter. Let's see here. Let's see that how we are doing it. Before that, need to identify this text box. Let's see the text box. This particular Google text box taking with inspect. So once you've done with the inspect, now we can see highlighted line. Once you've done this particular inspect, you can see this particular highlighted line. Is there any name option? Name option. Yes or no? What is the name we got? What is the name we got? Q. So we got just a name. We got just a name that we will be taking with Q. So we got name of the text box. We got name of the text box that we will be taking with Q. Okay, done. After that, taking with the same text box. Now, in that particular text box, once you enter the data, it will give the details. Need to be get perform down arrow. For that, you are taking the predefined class name. What is a predefined class name? What is a predefined class name? Keys. What is the use of the what is the use of the keys class? To perform keyboard actions by using Selenium, or you can consider by using WebDriver. Okay, mentioning the taking with keys dot. So which you will be taking with arrow underscore down. Okay, the same activity I want to be get perform. The same activity want to be get perform for one more time. So again, need to be get provide taking with that particular option. Okay, sorry. Now we got taking with down arrow for 2 times. After that, need to be get click on enter. So which need to be get taking care about? Which need to be get taking care about in considering that enter here. So this is how we are taking with keyboard activity, and then finally need to be get close with the browser that you will be taking with driver.close. Okay. First imported all the required packages, creating with class, creating with method, creating with package. So after that, we got mention about providing path of driver.exe file and created object for that. After that, it's need to be get enter URL. Once we got enter with the URL, providing some waiting particular time. After that, doing with that particular login. So once we have been done with login, sorry, not login. What is that? Wait statement. Thread dot sleep. Just I'm giving wait statement to see that how it is working or not. What do you have to write? Throws exception. Okay. Now we can see here. I'm just giving the wait statement. And then first down arrow, second down arrow, and then taking with enter. Now we can see here. Navigate dot arrow. Run as what is option we are using? Java application. So it's need to be get open with Google page. Okay. It has to type the text. Oh. Now it has to take down arrow. First down arrow done. Not visible. Huh? Second down arrow done. And then taking with enter and then taking with logout and close the application. Let me run once again. Okay. Right. Now we can see that just I got increase with the wait statement. This is launching with the browser, entering with the URL. It has to type with the data. Now it has to take down arrow for first time, down arrow for second time, and click on that enter questions. I mean, which it has been clicked on, enter. So this is what it will be taking care about. This is what it will be taking care about in working with keyboard actions. If you want to be get perform, any kind of activity. This is not yours, sir. Oh, I'll upload. This is related to keyboard actions with the help of WebDriver. Just let me provide this. Okay. So now, yeah. Okay, right. So now I can see that. So this is what we need to be taking care about this keyboard actions. So see that particular respective program. The first program, what is the first program we done? Login, log out. After that, which we have been done with Chrome, and after that, verify, and then done with mouse over. After that, frames. After that, alerts. After Mhm. which you will be taking with keyboard action here. So now take with the heading. Take with the heading is drop down. Drop down and drop down checkbox. Online students also have a heading is drop down and checkbox. Have a heading is drop down and checkbox. Have a heading is drop down and checkbox. Okay, right. Under that, make a note of the test steps. For that, make a note of the test steps. Make a note of the steps. Take with the first step. What is the first step? Open application. First step, open application. First step, open application. Take the next step. Next step. Login into application. Login into application. Login into application. Login into application. Take the next step. Select employee ID. Select employee ID from search by drop down. Select employee ID from search by drop down. Select employee ID from search by drop down. Take the next step. Take the next step. Enter employee ID. Enter employee ID in search for text box. Enter employee ID in search for text box. Enter employee ID in search for text box. Take the next step. Click on search button. Click on search button. Click on search button. Click on search button. Take the next step. Click on checkbox. Click on checkbox. Click on checkbox. Click on checkbox. Take with the next step. Click on delete button. Click on delete button. Click on delete button. Click on delete button. Take with the next step. Click on log out. Click on log out. Click on log out. Take the last step. close application, close application, close application. Right. See that as simple as we have been taking care about how we can automate with different kind of functionalities. In that, we need to be get mentioning about taking that particular text boxes and buttons. Continued with the same, we need to be take with the drop down. See the steps here. First, we need to be get open application. Once we got open the application, we need to begin doing with login into application. We need to begin open with application and then taking with login into application. Once we done with the login, we need to be select what is option employee ID. This is the drop down. This is search by drop down. From this search by drop down, we need to be take with employee ID. From the search by drop down, we need to be get taking with employee ID. Once we got employee ID, we need to be get enter employee ID. We need to be get enter employee ID and click on search button. Once we got click on search button, we need to be get click on checkbox. Once we got click on the checkbox, we need to click on delete. So by that, employee will delete it and doing the logout and close application. Previously, we got understand about the test case of add new employee. Previously, we done with add new employee. Now, similar to that, we are automating with the test case of delete employee. So the conclusion is we are trying to get understood how we can work with the text, working with drop down. If you want to be get automate with the drop down and checkbox, how we can automate? What is that particular syntax need to be followed? Let's see that. If you want to be get work with the drop down, if you want to be get work with the drop down, followed with the same concept. If you want to be get work with the drop down, the whole programming requirement need to be get perform an action. How you can perform an action? How we can perform an action? By using method. Method will be available in class. Class will be available in package. The whole concept will be same. As simple as working with Selenium, which will be working in a very simple, and moreover, you doesn't require to write any of your own methods. Did we written any of our own methods? No. Everything we are taking with the predefined. According to the requirement, you need to be get understand that what are all the respective methods need to be used. As simple as if you look into your previous program, previously you done with the test case of mouse over. If you want to be perform mouse over, what is the method name? To perform mouse over, method name. Switch to To perform mouse over, method name. What is it? Move to element. If you want to be perform the mouse over, you are taking with the method name, considering that move to element. Then class name. What is a class name? Actions. Method name, move to element, class name, actions. package name selenium dot interactions dot actions. Using the method, taking with class, taking with package. Consider that alerts. To handle the alerts, what are the method names? Method names. Action. You need to remember the methods. Accept and dismiss. Accept is for OK button. Dismiss is for cancel button. For these two methods, what is the class name? Class name, alert. Package name, selenium dot alert. Method names is accept and dismiss. Accept is for OK button. Dismiss is for cancel button. For these two methods, you will be taking with. For these two methods, you will be taking with class name is alert. Package name is selenium dot alert. So this is what we are utilizing with method and then class and then package. Just according to the requirement, you need to be get understand what are all the required methods need to be used. So continued with the same, we need to be get taking with drop down. While working with the drop down also, we need to be get taking with the method name, that particular method name. Considering that, taking with the method name, mentioning that select by visible text. Using with the method name, mentioning about select by visible text here. So the one you will be mentioning about select by visible text. Another method, select by index. Another method, select by value. So one is select by visible text, another one select by index, and another one select by value. So these three are predefined methods which are related to drop down. If you want to be get select any value from the drop down, you can work with these three particular methods. What are the method names we got? Select by visible text. Another one, select by index. Another one, select by value. So based on that project requirement, based on that particular project requirement, or based on that particular project, you can work with any of the method. These three are methods related to drop down here. Okay. Now, these three are considered predefined method. These three are considering the predefined methods. For these methods, taking with class name. For these methods, you will be taking with class name. That you will be considering the class name is select. Taking with class name, object name equal to new select. Taking with class name, object name equal to new select. Using that particular object, you will be taking with the respective method. But you are mentioning that select. What exactly we have to select? According to the requirement, we need to select employee ID from where we are selecting that employee ID? From drop down. We need to select the employee ID from search by drop down. That means first you need to recognize the drop down. Once you recognize the drop down, from that particular drop down, you need to be select the value. So because of that, you are writing that statement. Driver dot find element. Driver dot find element. By dot, you will be taking with name. You need to be get provide. You need to be get provide drop down name. You need to be get provide that particular drop down name here. So we need to be get mentioning that. We need to be get mentioning that taking with drop down name here. So the one you will be mentioning about taking with these particular methods. These methods taking with the class. How will get access for class? How will get access for class? Which you will be taking with package. To get access for class, you need to be get import that package. Taking that package, considering that import org.openqa.selenium.import org.openqa.selenium.support support.ui.select considering that taking with import org.openqa.selenium.support.ui.select. So these are package we need to import for these particular syntax. The whole Selenium, it's not like only Selenium. The whole programming same concept. You have to perform an action. To perform an action, you are taking with method. For that method, you will be taking with the class. For that class, you will be taking with the package. Looks like you done with the Java for 3 months or 2 months. You will be assuming that you done with lot of things in Java here. But unfortunately, if you look into the conclusion, for the whole Java training, you learn with only 3 things here. What are that? Taking that method, for that method, class, for that class, package. Along with that, you learn creating the object. For doing that, you're done with the 2 months of training program. 2 months or 3 months? But looks like you learn lot of things here. But you guys can cross check that everything just different things I got it. But as simple as the whole programming conclusion, just 3 concepts here. You have to perform one action. For that you are taking method. For that method you are taking class. And for that class you are taking with package here. So related to drop down, this is what? Taking with the method name and then taking with the class name and which you will be taking with package name. Now I can see here. So considering that if you want to be get, work with the drop down. If you want to be get, work with the drop down. So what are the method names we got? Select by visible text and select by index and select by value. What is the class name? Select. What is the package name? Selenium.support.ui.select. Let's see that how exactly we can work with this particular whole syntax. So let's understand how exactly we can write with the program related to this. Let's see here. Now, see that particular syntax. Writing with the program is a common activity. Writing with the program is a common activity. Followed with the same syntax only, which will be taking with class. You need to be get mentioning about related to drop down. Okay. Now see the whole program here. As simple as first what we have to write? main method, taking with main method, considering the string, taking with aux. Need to start working with test step. Test step as usual. What we have to write? System dot set property, mentioning the taking with WebDriver dot gecko dot driver. Then what we have to provide? Path of driver dot exe. We need to be get provide path of driver dot exe, including with the file name and extension. Okay. After that, we need to be get mentioning that driver equal to new Firefox driver. Okay. Giving an error. Why it is giving an error? We need to import package. We need to be get import that particular respective packages. Okay. Next, need to be get enter with the URL. What is that method name? Driver.navigate.to. Driver.navigate.to. We need to be get provide that particular application URL. We need to be get provide that particular application URL. Okay. After that, assume that I want to be get print with the title. If I want to be print with the title, what is the method name? To retrieve the title, what is the method name? Which will be taking with get title. If you want to be get retrieve the title, you will be taking with get title. Now you want to be get type username. For typing the username, what is your whole statement? Driver dot find element by dot taking with name. What is the name of that? TXT username. Dot you will be taking with send keys. Send keys of what need to type it? Naresh IT. And after that, driver dot find element by dot taking with name. We need to be get provide that particular name considering dot txt password dot you will be taking with send keys. Need to be get provided that particular password. Providing with username, providing with password. Need to be get click on login button. By dot taking with name. What is the name of that? What is the name of that? Submit dot. What is the method name? Taking with click. Considering dot providing that respective wait statement. Okay. Now here we need to be get mentioning about login completed. We need to be get mentioning about login completed. Okay, done. Once we done with login, what is the next step you written? What is the next step you written? Select employee ID. Employee ID from search by drop down. You need to be select the employee ID. You need to be select the employee ID from search by drop down. But before taking this drop down, according to our understanding, this whole thing, what you are consider? What is it? Frame. How we can confirm that frame is available or not? How we can confirm that? In the HTML code, what we have to look? iframe or frame. In the HTML code, in this particular HTML code, we need to search with the tag name. What is the tag name? Frame or iframe. What is the tag name we got? iframe. So that we will be taking with that particular frame ID. That we will be taking with that frame ID here. Okay. Now we can see. As we confirm that frames are available, as we confirm that frames are available, we need to write in a code to enter into frame. As we confirm that frames are available, we need to write in a code to enter into the frame. To enter into the frame, what is the statement? What is the statement? Driver dot switch to dot frame. Driver dot switch to dot frame. You need to be provide that particular frame ID. You need to be provide that particular frame ID. Okay. After that, once we got enter into the frame, we need to be select employee ID. We need to be select employee ID from search by drop down. Okay. To select the value from drop down, what are the method names we got? Method names. Selected by visible text. Another one. Selected by index. Another one. Select by value. Based on your comfortable, you can utilize any of the method. But to work with method, you need to be create an object that you are creating with the object, taking with class name, object name equal to new select. For this particular class, you required a package. For this particular class, you required a package. That particular package, what is that package name? org.openqa. Which will be taking with Selenium you will be taking with support UI, which you will be taking with UI dot, what is that? Select. So that is what you will be taking with package. So after that particular package we got, taking with the class, you are saying that select, you have to select the value from drop down. From which drop down you have to select? You need to be get. From which drop down you need to be get select? You need to be get identify that particular drop down. You need to be get identify that particular drop down. I can see here having the name option. Yes, taking this particular name option, need to be get provide name, writing that driver dot find element by dot taking with name. We need to be provide name of that. So once we got identify the drop down, from that drop down, we have to select the value. Once we identify the drop down, from that particular drop down, we need to be get select the value. Further, using with the method name. What are the method names we got? Selected by visible text, selected by index, selected by value. Using the selected by visible text. Okay. We need to be provide. What is the text we have to select? I want to select employee ID. That is also I'm taking from the HTML code. Everything take from the HTML code. Then you will not have any issue providing that employee ID. Okay. Once we selected employee ID, what is the next step you written? No. You need to enter employee ID. So enter same concept, that is a text box only as usual. That is a simple text box only. Need to identify this text box. Doing with inspect. Now we can see any name option. Yeah, we got a name option which will be taking with location underscore name. Okay. Now we can see here. So considering that we need to be get writing the statement driver dot find element by dot you will be taking with name need to be get provide that name dot considering that send keys of you need to be get provide that particular employee ID. So 5367 5367. Okay, done. So now we selected employee ID option. We enter employee ID. What is the next step? Click on search button. So that is click activity as simple as you will follow the same. Taking with 5367. You need to click on search. To click on search, let's identify this. Once you identify, see that any name option. Name option. Now, any ID option? ID. Name is not available. ID not available. Class option. Class is available, but we are not preferred. So what is another option we'll try? What is it? XPath here. Let me try the attribute. I'm taking value attribute. I'm taking with value attribute. I'm taking with value attribute here. Okay. So I'm just taking with value attribute. Okay. Now we can see here considering that which need to be considered tag name. What is the tag name? What is the tag name? Input. Okay. Let's see here. Driver dot find element by dot XPath taking with XPath need to write that XPath considering that input at the rate taking with value equal to in a single code you will provide taking with dot what is it what is it taking with dot click. Okay. So once you're done with click activity, what is the next step need to be done? What is the next step? We clicked on search button. What is the next step you written? Click on checkbox. Even though that is a checkbox, click activity. Same syntax will be followed. The same syntax will be followed. Doing with right click, doing with right click, you will be taking with inspect. Now we can see here. Having the name option? Yes. Taking with name option. So having with name option. Considering that driver dot find element by dot taking with name need to be provide that particular name. Considering that dot what is the method name? What is the method name? Click. Checkbox also click. So checkbox also click activity. You need to be get taking with click. Checkbox also taking with click activity. Okay. Once we click on checkbox, what is the next step? Click on delete button. That is also click activity. That is also click activity. Now you can see here. Any name option? Name option. Any ID? ID. Any class? Class available, but we are not preferred. What is another option? What is another option? Taking with XPath. So that particular XPath I'm taking with value attribute. That particular XPath I'm taking with value attribute. Now considering that driver dot find element by dot you will be taking with XPath. by dot you will be taking with XPath, considering that input at the rate mentioning that value equal to in a single quote delete dot. What is the method name? What is the method name? Click. That is a button which you will be taking with click. After that, what is the next step? Click on log out. So that is regular statement driver dot find element by dot taking with link text here, which you will be taking with log out dot you will be taking with click activity, and then which you will be taking with the last step. So now what is it? Need to be get close the application that you will be taking with driver dot close. Now we can see here. First we need to be get import. First we need to be get import all the required packages. We got created with class, created with main method, path of exe file, launching the browser, entering the URL, retrieving the title, typing username, typing password, doing with the login. Once you have been done with the login, which you will be taking with entering into the frame, identifying the drop down. Once drop down identified, from that drop down, taking with the option is employee ID. After that, entering with the employee ID, click on search button, click on search button, click on checkbox, click on checkbox, click on delete. So click on delete. So that you will be taking with logout and then close the application. So as simple as need to be get able to see that, we need to be get able to see that in understanding working with drop down here. Now we can see if you run the program, you need to be able to see that that particular option has been selected from the required drop down here. Doing the login, selected employee ID. Okay. After that, typing employee ID, click on search, click on checkbox, click on delete. Okay. Doing the logout and close application. Why it is not executing here? So that logout option, the logout option is available on web page or frame? That is available on web page. We return the code to enter into the frame, but did you return the code to take exit? No. So that is what it is failing. So need to be get done with the statement considering that exit from frame. To exit from frame, what is the statement we have to write? Driver dot switch to dot which you will be taking with default content. So driver dot switch to dot default content. Okay. Now we can see previously we are using the method name. What is the method name? Select by visible text. This is one method. Apart from this, we can work with another method considering that select by index here. Now, if we look into our required option for this employee ID, what will be the index? What will be the index? 0 or 1? Index will start from 0. So this is 0. This is 1. So we need to be get provide that particular one. Okay. Now we can see here mentioning that one here. Okay. So this I'll be considering that employee ID. Okay. Now we can see here. If we run with the program, we need to be able to see that selecting with the value from drop down. Employee ID selected. Okay. Typing the employee ID. Click on search. Click on checkbox. Click on delete. And then log out. Okay. So this is how we got a possibility to work with the drop down here. Now, apart from this, we got one more method. What is that method? Select by value. So what is the value we will provide here? Drop down value. This is employee ID. Okay. Is that will mention as employee ID? If you mention employee ID, what make you difference of selected by visible text, selected by value? Oh. See the understanding. So that is how you will be getting the question. Difference between selected by visible text and selected by value here. Selected by visible text. Selected by visible text, which is visible for the user. The text which is visible for the user. If you look into the application, we are able to see this text is visible for the user. Select by visible text. That is one method. Another one, select by index. That is very straightforward. You will provide index. What is the last one? Select by value. That value is value attribute in the HTML code. That value, select by value. So value is one attribute. In the HTML code, you need to be able to see value attribute. Then only we can work on it. You can see. This is a drop down. If I expand, able to see with the value attribute. Meaning of attribute. Meaning of attribute. Having with equal symbol. Meaning of attribute considering that having with equal symbol. So here we got that attribute taking with the value attribute. For this -1, we required employee ID. For employee ID, what is the value attribute? What is the value attribute? 0. So that value attribute is 0. So you need to be provide that particular 0. So that particular value attribute you need to be mentioning about taking with 0 here. Okay, right. Okay, now we can see, sorry, 0 or 1? Okay, this is -1. Okay. Now employee ID 69. This is already deleted, right? Okay. Now we can see that. So you need to be able to see that working with that particular option, it's need to be select employee ID. What is employee ID? Employee ID selected. Typing the employee ID. Click on search. After that, click on checkbox. After that, taking with delete. After that, taking with logout. Okay. And then finally, closing with application. So this is how we got a possibility. This is how we got a possibility in working with drop down here. So based on that particular program requirement, we need to be understand that working with all the required things here. This is how we got a possibility in working with drop down here. So now the whole conclusion, while working with Selenium automation, If you want to be work with the drop down, what are the methods we got? Select by visible text. After that, select by index. After that, select by value. For these methods, what is the class name? Select. What is the package name? Selenium.support.ui.select. Okay. Now we can see here. You're done with this login, logout, text box, buttons, links, Chrome browser, verification, mouse over, frames, alerts, keyboard action, drop down and checkbox. Lot of things we done. Huh? Now, in a similar way, take with the new heading. Take with the new heading is wait statements. Take with the new heading is wait statements. Take with the heading is wait statements. Under that, make a note of the wait statements. Having a main heading is wait statements. Under that, having a wait statement, the one you can mention the thread dot sleep. The one you can mention the thread dot sleep. And another one, you can mention the implicit wait. We can mention the implicit wait. Another one, you can mention the explicit wait. Another one, we can mention the explicit wait. So one is thread dot sleep, another one implicit wait, and another one explicit wait. Okay. So these wait statements we have to understand on it. So once that wait statements are done, still some more individual programs we need to be done. So finally, we need to come up with frameworks concept. Our main target is frameworks here. To get work with frameworks, we are taking care about all these individual syntaxes here. By having all these individual syntaxes, we need to get design with the framework. So that is what our final target. So that is what the last one. So before going to that, first you guys need to get comfortable taking care about all these particular syntaxes. So just take care about all these particular syntaxes. So Monday we'll take an example of these wait statement and some more individual terms are there. So all that particular things we'll look into that. In the meanwhile, take care about the syntaxes here. Okay? Carry